Hawthorn took a gamble. We talk a lot about the three-headed monster of Fogarty, Thilthorpe and Tex for the Crows. They unleashed the four-headed monster. And it's fair to say, by the numbers, it probably didn't go the way that they wanted. Maybe it didn't affect the game in terms of, pressure and that kind of thing. But you look at these numbers, they sub Calcidir out of the game. Will they persist with this?
Yeah, look, I think it'll probably change for next game, but I'm not saying that it necessarily didn't work. I know the numbers on the screen look quite low for Calcidir. They had Warple to sub him in, but I think the way that it played out, the Gunston this season has clearly surpassed their expectation, or most people's expectation for him. And they had Lewis Choldeer available, and they've all come into the side at a similar time. Obviously, they had the luxury a couple of weeks ago without Chol being available, but it is a genuine squeeze for them now to work out what their balance looks like, who's the best three tools that they're going to play. And the thing that pops up with Mabior Chol is he's a really good pressure forward, which I think is something that gets missed with him. But also he goes in and plays that second ruck role, and that's who they want playing it. They don't want Gunston, they don't want Lewis playing it. So I think that does become a genuine headache for them as to where the balance is and who plays in those three tall positions. But another thing that throws a huge spanner in the works, Xander, you reported it this afternoon, that Will Day is now out for the season.
Well, this is an unmitigated disaster for Hawthorn. Will Day is their most important player, their most skilled player. He's their fire starter. He's unbelievable. And you see the ice being applied to his foot there. It's the same foot that kept him out for 4 months this season with a stress fracture in the navicular bone. He's got bone stress in the same foot, and his season is now officially over. Further scans will determine the path forward for him. This was a really interesting moment, though, in the last quarter. He cramped up in both calves, and it goes to show that Hawthorn aren't putting that much stress through him because he's only on half training loads at the moment, Will Day. But the game was stopped for him at a pivotal moment when momentum was everything, and it was for a cramp. Where does this go now? Because this rule was really introduced for concussions and really serious injuries, and it seems like something that if a team wanted to, in the pointy end of the season, they could manipulate.
Yeah, that's the talk that's sort of coming out of this incident, which is probably fair considering we are watching and protecting the head of the player. It was clear there was no head knock in that situation for Will Day.